Dear students, in this lecture video, we studied about the last content of the module 3 nuclear power plant content, that is effects of nuclear power plant, disposal of nuclear waste and effluent. The last one is shielding. These three contents is the last content of the module 3, that is nuclear power plant. First, we studied about the effects of nuclear power plants. In the nuclear power station, the combustion fuel is low. That means the harmful effluents from nuclear power plant in the atmosphere are too small. So therefore, the isotopes formed in the nuclear power reactors have high toxicity and their effect on the living organism may gradually increase. That's why the problems of disposal of radioactive materials, transport and storage of liquid radioactive waste are more significant only. The nuclear reactor produces alpha rays, beta rays, gamma rays. When these three rays are produced, the nuclear fuels, that means the radioactive materials, is bombarded into nuclear fission process or nuclear reaction process. So it is liberated huge amount of energy which is converted into electrical energy. At the same time, radioactive byproducts also produced. That byproducts, radioactive byproducts only alpha rays, beta rays, gamma rays and neutrons. But these can be disturbed normal working of a living organism. That's why we studied what are the effects of the radioactive wastage in the nuclear power plant. Now you take alpha rays. The alpha rays is nothing but a heavy particles which are carrying positive charge and it can internal hazard. You see the beta rays have greater penetrating power compared to alpha rays due to smaller size. But the beta rays size is smaller but it has greater penetrating power compared to alpha rays. Suppose the overexpose of this beta rays means it may cause skin problems. This is the effect of radioactive waste. The next gamma rays. The gamma rays are the electromagnetic radiations. It has very short wavelength but it has high energy and it has very penetrating power. So it causes the damage to the organic materials. So the alpha and then the beta and then gamma rays, all the three radioactive byproducts, that means is caused some problems, that is skin problem, that organic materials problem, and then the alpha is nothing but the internal hazard problems. Okay. The biological effects, because the biological shielding is the one of the shield which is used in the nuclear reactor for protecting the biological that materials. Okay, so therefore the biological effects of nuclear radiation depends upon the amount of dose observed, time duration of exposure, sensitivity and recovery of recipient organism, and then the distribution of active material within the body. Mainly these four factors. The nuclear power stations are surrounded by the sanitary protective zone which is used to minimize the risk of radiation of population within this zone only. Here three sources there. The first source is fission of nuclei of solid or gaseous nuclear fuels. The gaseous fission fragments which is moved to enter the air include inert gases. Inert gases means neon, krypton, etc. and the radioactive iodine. The second source is due to the effort of the neutron fluxes on the heat carrier in the primary cooling system and on the ambient air. So among the components of air or inert gas or the argon 40 is most prone to the activation. The third source is damage of cells of fuel elements or in the presence of activated inert gases and aerosols in heat carrier leakages. So these are the effects involved in the nuclear power plants. Up to this we studied about the effects of nuclear power plant. Now, how to dispose the nuclear waste and effluent. The solid radioactive wastes, that means the solid radio wastages arises from used filters, sludge from the cooling plant, pieces of the discarded fuel element cans, splitters, etc. These discarded items of the plant, such as control rods, have to be stored on the site in the sealed concrete walls. The storing in the sealed storage walls consists of fixing the solid waste in the borosilicate glass and then storage of this glass in the leak-tight capsules. These capsules are walls stored in the deep salt mines or in the deep wells drilled in the Stample Ocean floor only. This is the way for disposal of nuclear waste and effluent. The suitable containers are filled with the radioactive waste and sunk to the bottom of the seas and oceans. The another way of disposal of nuclear waste and effluent is the separation and the transmutation of the long-lived isotopes to short-lived or the stable products following neutron absorption in the breeder or fusion reactor. But it is safe enough to store radioactive waste underground in liquid form in the suitable tank or in the reduction to clinker. This is the safer way to dispose the nuclear waste. The Glycerin serves a twofold purpose. One is to improving the protection and the another one is to reduce the volume of waste. This is the function of Glycerin. Then the one more method is used to disposal of nuclear waste is solidifying the liquid radioactive waste through the heat up and evaporation. Okay. So one is the ocean sea also you have to in a deep tip you can close it. Another one is in the liquid form and then put it in the tank. This is the another way. And then another way the radioactive waste is heated then evaporated. This is the another way for disposal of nuclear waste. The gaseous effluents are filtered before discharging into the atmosphere. Moreover, the filtered gas is discharged at high levels so that it is disposed properly. The probability of the fire in the nuclear reactor fuel channel is extremely low. If the fire breaks out, the larger volumes of the gaseous fission products may be released. Therefore, it is necessary to have a clean up the plant, that is nuclear plant, through which these the nuclear waste products can be passed for the removal of radioactive iodine, which is the major hazard. So up to this we studied about the disposal of nuclear waste and effluent. Now shielding. What is the importance of the shielding in the nuclear power plant? The adequate shielding is necessary to guard personal and delicate instruments. What are the materials used for sealing? One is lead, second one is concrete, third one is steel, fourth one is cadmium. The four material is used as a shielding. First one, lead. The lead is a common shielding material. It has high density. It is invariably employed due to its low cost. Second one is concrete. The concrete is another shielding material. It is having high efficiency, lesser than the lead efficiency. Then third one is steel. The steel is not an efficient shielding material compared to other two shielding materials, but it has good structural properties compared to other two shielding materials. It is employed as an attenuating shield sometimes. The last one is cadmium. The cadmium is capable of absorbing slow neutrons by a nuclear reaction. So totally 4 types of the material used for sealing in the nuclear reactor. The no single material is effective in shielding against all the types of the radioactive radiations. A material containing hydrogen, for example, the water or polythene is used to slow down the fast neutrons movement. The boron or the steel is employed for the absorption of thermal neutrons. A heavy material like lead is required to act as the thermal shield and absorb gamma rays. In the nuclear power reactors, the thermal shield of the thickness, that is the several centimeter of steel surrounded by the 3 meter thickness of the concrete, which is used as a shielding, thermal shielding. In concrete, water slows down the faster neutrons. The iron, barium, the steel turnings are the mixed in the concrete to attenuate gamma rays and absorb thermal neutrons. The effectiveness of the shielding materials depends upon the density of the material only. Dear students, I hope in this lecture video you clearly understood what are the effects of nuclear power plant, and then how to dispose the nuclear power plant waste, that is the radioactive wastage, and then what are the materials used for thermal shielding. Thank you students for watching this video.